Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 110 of the Breeze podcast, where your word of mouth is our oxygen. I'm the boy, the Don, John. Here, my boy. What's good, bro? What you saying? Introduce yourself. What's good?
My name, if you don't know that, is actually Gordon Ramsay. No, I'm kidding.
That's,
My name is Victor White.
I mean, it's crazy you said Gordon Ramsay. I've been watching Gordon Ramsay every single night for the last week. Hell's Kitchen. I just now
Yeah.
recently got into it, but
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy you said that.
I have a feeling for wait, gotta angle the light correctly. I see you just have the mic stall and the Barbados flag and some
I
sound
mean, the
foam
light's
on the
coming in today.
walls.
You know what I mean? The light's coming in today,
Lights
so like
coming in. John is
it's all.
finally stepping up his game, guys.
Yo,
Finally,
it's
you
about
won't
time.
have to listen to torture
Yo,
for
110
however
episodes in,
long.
like it's about time. You know what I mean? Like we're out here.
Because you're not unemployed now.
Yo, I'm actually 1 week into employment.
Whoa. Okay,
Let's
John.
get into that. Roll the intro.
Breeze. Breeze.
Breeze.
Okay, bro, this will be an interesting week in review since you're 1 week into employment.
Bro, so yeah, I'm 1 week in. Like my first 2 weeks are strictly like the mind of a consultant. Like basically they're training us how to be consultants, you know what I mean? So like we get a
Okay.
crash course on like different frameworks, the
Yeah.
ABC framework, and like
Mm-hmm.
basically how to think and how to solve problems, like
Yeah.
ambiguous problems. That's what they're teaching
Yeah.
us for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So my mornings start at like 7 because I'm working on East Coast time.
Yeah.
So they start at 9, but I'm in Calgary, so it's 7, and I finish around 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like meeting a bunch of people. So like my cohort is like Canadian people
Yeah.
and US people. So I'm meeting
Yeah.
like a bunch of people that are gonna work with like the federal government in like the states and
Interesting.
stuff. So it's pretty interesting to hear the projects that they're be working on. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
Oh, that's
Um,
interesting.
I just like how technology can like I'm just super interested in learn more about how like this technology fits into
So,
um
does this mean that IBM's largest contractors are of governmental organizational type stuff?
I'd say yeah. I'd also say like 90% of like the big banks are also IBM clients. So like
Okay.
all of them basically run on like IBM technology, which is
Okay.
interesting.
Not
But
Amazon.
client. So the client. Like I mean it's
That's
crazy.
interesting.
It's super interesting. You know what I mean? Just I mean like once you understand the breakdown of how it works, like basically they
Yeah.
call you in for something, you know what I mean, depending on
Yeah.
what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's your job. Like once they call you, that you're the client, you know what I mean? So
Mm.
I when I heard that like one of the clients that I worked with, like it was like, well, that's super interesting, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm still learning, um, enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
The people are super cool, you know
That's
what I mean?
nice. That's really nice.
Um,
Important as well.
yeah, bro. Like I feel like, yeah, I got no complaints. I mean,
Nice. Well,
what about
good to
you?
hear, John.
How were
Well,
your exams? How were your exams, bro?
yo, Monday, slap. Wednesday, slap. Friday, slap. Now, obviously, we're gonna get into the micro of things. But I just wanted to say, John, that I feel like there is a big possibility that I might pass all of the exams, John.
Yo, round of applause for Big Two,
It's
bro.
and yeah. So the first exam on Monday, John, data analytics, right? So I had studied and prepared for that one the most because I feel like that's one where if you have it hanging over your head, and as you remember, I fluked the maths exam, the midterm, the
Mm-hmm.
DUGA is called. So I already have that one to do in January. But I felt that that exam with some tailwind that I'm gonna be able to pass it. Hopefully, we will see. Um, and then with my next exam, which was global challenges, and that's essentially how to tackle a variety of different problems that we face in today's society, whether that's, I mean, in one way, it could be relationships in between nations,
Okay.
and one thing in the course is game theory. Then obviously we've been on epidemics because of the corona pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and as well obviously climate change. And I don't remember if I mentioned it, but we had a Harvard case study
Mm-hmm.
in this class, and it was on palm oil production in Indonesia. And first of all, John, I don't remember if I asked you this, but do you know how many people live in Indonesia?
Have no idea.
Guess.
1 million.
279 million.
279 million.
Yes,
Yo,
bro.
that's crazy.
800 different languages. I had no idea
That's
Indonesia was
crazy.
that huge.
Is
I
it
don't know.
huge or is it like super dense?
Dense and big, I guess. I don't know. 279 million, bro.
That's
Or
crazy.
76, 276. It's insane, bro.
That's crazy.
800 languages. Um, no, but Sam, because of that case study that we did there, then we had to use stuff. It was 4 questions, and then you had different sections,
So that was
and
essay, like long
essay
form
like,
questions.
yes,
Okay.
yes, but it was open book, so I had compiled a huge document with
Nice.
core reading materials, etc., which I would not say was that helpful, honestly. But what I would say is that I had planned for the 3 hours. I was like, okay, I can spend X amount of time on each question, and then I move on, and then I finish in the end. 3 hours was extremely tight. However, some people, so what happened was that our school portal went down the day of the exam, so people couldn't access the readings, which when it was time for the exam started, and then they had emailed and said, when the portal is back up, you can access the readings and we might give you extra time. But the thing is, on the exam, you had to have Zoom open, but you had to mute your computer in order not to hear everyone, because you had to have sound on so they could monitor. So you mute the audio on the computer. So at 5 p.m., when it was time for me to hand in my assignment, and I was like, I don't, I hand it
Mhm.
in and then I unmute just to listen to the chat, and it's freaking chaos going on. And they're like, you have 45 extra minutes. She was Australian, the woman. And I was like, what? I just handed it in. So luckily, I was able to get my exam back, access it again through DJ exam, to then feel a little bit better about my answers, because I was
Yeah.
so pressed on time, bro. Like, it was ridiculous, and like the questions were freaking
Wait, yo.
saucy,
So
bro.
question. Um, shit, I forgot my question, bro. I had a great question. All right, keep
Okay,
talking. Keep talking. Keep talking.
so what happened was, I get my access back, and this is like 300 students who just left their exam and now
Hmm.
want it back, and this one woman have to do it manually,
Manually.
right? I was lucky enough to get mine back, and then, like, when I had used the 40 extra minutes instead of 45, because it is a big difference from knowing you have like 4 hours instead of 3 hours, how you do,
Yeah.
and the way you start, the way you feel stressed through
Hundred
the whole,
percent.
it's a big difference. um, so what happens is, I leave it in again without listening to the chat, and I exit Zoom and like, oh, okay, go on with my day, and then at what, like 6:25, they type in my group chat and like, oh, how's it going, guys? Or like, the time is extended again. So they had extended it 45 minutes again because of issues and
Wow.
stuff. So naturally, this has become a big thing, obviously, because
Hmm.
some people left it after 3 hours, and etc. Because technically, like, if you were to take like a professional game of any sort, and then when the game has started, you rewrite the rules, like, bro, like,
Yeah, it's
no,
kind of a sketch. So you
no.
did. You were at home for all these exams.
For the second one, global
Okay.
challenges, I was
Okay.
at home.
Okay.
No, so that's currently a debate that's going on. We'll see what happens. Our professor who's on the Nobel Committee board, blah blah blah, he issued like a super formal statement. Like, at this point in time, I had two options: either to blah 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 or blah blah blah. After etc. And obviously, it's a difficult situation to be in, But I also understand a lot of the student frustrations out there. Some students were really frustrated. Personally, I just focused on my next exam, which was microeconomics. So I was so drained that Wednesday night, so I just started structuring my studying for microeconomics. And my beautiful beloved girlfriend tells me that you should print the old exams, and then you should categorize each question to what section in the lectures you've been going through:
Yeah.
monopolies, duopolies, externalities, etc. And then like perfect competition, blah blah blah, supply and demand. So I did that for all the exams, and then I went category by category. Now the issue was I did this the day before the exam. So I'm starting to studying the day before the exam. And what happened was that I managed to do oligopoly, monopoly, and because I started with oligopoly, which is
Mhm.
technically after monopoly, a lot of the models that we use, like equations, were more difficult. So when I then did monopoly, it was easier. And what I saw on the previous test was that there was a tendency to have a lot of that stuff in the exam. So I felt like really bad. I was up until 2:30 something a.m. Slept minimal in before the exam. I wake up, I go there. I have no idea how I'll do. Guess what?
What?
It's the best exam of the week, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
I
have a similar
fly through
story.
it, bro. Like, this new study technique from my beloved girlfriend is the best technique ever. And that's going to get me through these 3 years.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, I actually have a similar story. This is
Yeah.
before the podcast.
Yeah.
So my first year of undergrad.
Yeah.
So how it works, like you have like throughout the term, you have to get at least 40%. Like the most you can get is 40% to take into
Yeah.
the exam, right?
Yeah.
So like I did zero work. So I had like probably like 10%, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, out of
Yeah.
40. So
Yeah.
in order for me to pass, I had to get like full marks on
Yeah.
like the final exam. I had to get like
Yeah.
100%. So this is stats. This is like
Yeah.
I hated stats at this time, right?
Statistics.
Yeah, statistics.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. What I did, I went and I looked. I printed off every single exam paper in the history of this course,
Yeah.
and I memorized every single question and answer.
Yeah.
And then when I got into the exam, I was like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I got into the exam. One of the questions was incorrect because she like copy and pasted wrong from like one of the past papers, and I corrected the question.
Yeah.
And then I gave her the right answer and the right question, and she gave me like 110%. I was
No
like,
way.
everyone else got it wrong because no one else knew it was a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one knows that story. Like, shout out to my parents. They didn't know that like that happened. Like,
No, but I think the key takeaway here is know what you have to do and study that. Because when I look at what we've been going through in the course, as well as the book, etc., the lectures, the hand-in assignments that we did previously, and I know a majority of my classmates studied the hand-in assignments and found the tests really difficult and struggled.
yeah,
Is that on exams they are bound to a specific format, so you're
correct.
better off practicing on, if you have the
The,
opportunity, all the exams.
if you can find them, like that's the best way to do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a lot of people, especially undergrad, like find that there's a big gap between like term assignments and like what you do throughout like the
Yeah.
class and
Yeah.
then the final exam. Just like to your point, you know what I mean? Like they have like a
Yeah.
structure they have to stick to and like certain
Yeah.
things that has to come on the exam. So like
Yeah.
all those undergrad people are there. If you can find exams, just learn those questions and just
Yeah.
practice those
And
questions. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
and even though the exam question might be formulated differently with different words and different
Yeah,
numbers, the core content will be the same, and you will recognize, and you
yeah.
will just be able to.
Fundamentally, is the same thing.
Yes, exactly.
It
So
should be. That's a major tip, by the way. That's a major
yeah,
tip you just gave.
yeah, oof, such a baller tip. And then my last thing that I just want to bring up about this past week is that I get a DM from the Stockholm School of Economics. And every time they're in my inbox, I am scared to death because I think I spoke on the podcast what happened on the introduction when this
Yeah.
random dude was running around with a camera on campus during COVID times, etc. Because of, if you think about the negative externalities, which are a third party affected outside of an economic transaction,
Okay, this
which in
guy's
this
definitely
case the
studied.
negative externality would be the media, which because they kind of like our school and to
Hmm.
point out the weaknesses, etc. No, so I've kind of gotten a lot of support, etc., from the school with what I'm doing, and with that also comes a lot of trust, you know.
Yeah.
um so the first thing that hits my mind when I get this DM is, damn, now I published something that is not
It's
good.
over the top. It's
Yeah,
over.
yeah, this is not good. Much like our podcast in the beginning where we just went in hard. um I open it up and it says, "Hi Victor, we love to follow your journey on the vlog. Everyone here on the marketing team is so nice. Would you consider doing an Instagram takeover of our account?"
That's it. That's it. I saw
So
that.
yeah.
I watched your vlog, so I
Oh,
saw that.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty
starting next
cool.
week, we have Victor White taking over the Stockholm School of Economics
That's sick.
Instagram, bro.
That's major. That's
Yeah.
major.
Yeah.
Congrats, bro. That's sick.
So I'm oh okay. So to the point, obviously I'm competitive, so I'm gonna go in ridiculously hard, bro. By the way,
So is this your first time doing this?
on the record, do I have permission to use your songs on the stories?
Yeah, bro. Of
Nice,
course.
easy. Um,
Is this your first time doing this?
for me, Instagram takeover on their account, yes, but they've done Instagram takeovers before.
Okay.
I'm gonna set
The
such a high
bar
bar
super
that hopefully no one will beat my takeovers in the coming. I
high.
would be happy if they survive a solid 40 years, at
Don't say
least.
less, bro. I'm thinking 50. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Or
used to be.
possibly the best takeover ever.
Probably.
And my last thing would be to add to this is that and sometimes it's just nice how faith works, you know. Um, Obviously, I see on the portal that one of our next courses are management, organizational management, something like that. And the first lecture is a 4-hour lecture, and they're gonna have visits from the Sweden CEO of McKinsey and
Cool.
McKinsey and Company, and a Bain senior partner. Uh, but because of COVID, there's only a limited number of people that can attend the lecture, and we're organizing to numbers, right? You have your student ID, and the student IDs that were allowed to attend was not including mine. All
But
right.
no, you got that takeover.
Now I have leverage.
Of
So
course,
what
bro.
do? I email our course director, Jasper Bloomberg, and I tell him, "Hi, I'm doing an Instagram story takeover of the Stockholm School of Economics account. Could you possibly get me into this first lecture?" Because obviously, John, you're the one that told me, "Oh, no associates at McKinsey, they're not worth anything. You gotta go to the partners, bro."
That's facts, bro.
So
That's
what
facts.
do? I'm going to the CEO, bro.
You have to. That's what you gotta do, bro. You gotta hit for the top.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
So I managed to get myself a spot there, which is nice. So I'm gonna intend to use my leverage now to get close to the CEO on
that's
Tuesday.
fire, bro. You have to. Like you
Yeah,
have it. Like they handed this to you, so like now you gotta go for it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
100%, bro.
You gotta go for it,
So
bro.
listeners, make sure to follow the Stockholm School of Economics right now and keep up with my week essentially
Yeah.
on the Stockholm School of Economics
I'll
school
definitely give them a
account.
follow too.
Amazing. And obviously, John, I will shout out you and involve some Ivy stuff and, bridge the gap. You know?
Shout out to Victor, bro. Shout out to Victor.
Amazing. Okay, chopped up.
Chopped up, bro. Did we speak about Quibi last week?
We did not.
Yo, so I was looking for the episode like this week that we spoke about Quibi early
Yeah,
this year. Um, I just think we were like, I mean, I don't think like I know that we were spot on, you know what I mean,
yeah,
in terms of
yeah,
like our analysis of just the business on the whole,
yeah,
just to see, just for our listeners now. So Quibi lasted 6 months, basically $1.6 billion in investment,
yeah,
and they're shutting down.
yeah,
I don't mean to laugh, sorry, but I mean like,
yeah.
it feels good to be correct. You know what I mean?
It
Like just
goes to
on
show that you can't buy yourself into a market with like
with a dumb idea still.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like the idea could be way better. I mean,
mm,
I don't know, man. It's done. RIP Quibi. I guess we can call it like
yeah,
rip to
yeah,
Quibi.
yeah. Rip Quibi. I don't have anything to add on that because on the previous episode when we spoke about that, we were speaking about this day. So you know,
It's
um,
here, like same year. Like I thought it at least like next year probably, but
yeah,
like same year.
yeah.
Um, yeah, RIP Quibi.
John, the Kanye West Joe
Joe
Rogan
Rogan.
interview. Have you watched it? Started watching it?
Yeah, so I'm an hour in.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm about this no a little longer. I'm an hour 24 minutes in.
yeah. So I mean, when you see those two people, like Joe Rogan it by himself, you have to watch him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kanye West.
First of all, what do you think of the set design?
I mean, it doesn't bother me, bro. But everyone's saying it looks like a toaster. I think you said a toaster. I'm like, I'm here for the content. I'm here to
Yeah.
listen to what's happening.
Did you
Um,
see that those things on the wall is sound stuff?
yeah, some panels, yeah,
Yeah. He probably
yeah.
wanted to feel like he's in a studio.
I mean, he is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, true. Yeah, it is a
I
studio.
guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So
I
what you were
mean,
saying,
what do you think so far about the Kanye West?
I think so Joe had previously said that he had talked to Kanye, um, but he also said that he didn't know if that would be the right format for Kanye, and
Right.
that's maybe why the interview hadn't happened. Um, I think that is nice to have Kanye in a setting where, opposed to the Nick Cannon thing, where you essentially have this sheep and Kanye, opposed to a setting where Kanye respects. I'm not saying that he doesn't respect Nick Cannon, but what I'm saying is when Kanye sits opposed to someone whom it's very clear that he is speaking to as an equal, right? And that to me is nice because it's also clear that this is an interview where Kanye um, isn't, he is as much Kanye right now that I think we publicly can get him, right?
Mm.
Um,
I'd counter just to say like I feel it's just two different audiences. You know what I mean? In terms
okay.
of like who. So Nick Cannon, Joe Rogan. I don't think none of them like you can't. They won't be able to see eye to eye with Kanye. You know what I mean? Like not even Joe Rogan. Like he's a well read individual. Like he knows a lot of stuff. But in terms of
Mm,
like it's Kanye West, bro. Like this
yeah.
guy's a billionaire. He's touched every single industry that you can
Yeah.
think about. You know what I mean? Like so when it comes to it in terms of like the format, like there's a reason he would sit with Nick Cannon. You know what I mean? Like that audience is like for his core like people that's like, yo,
Yes.
Kanye West. I mess with Kanye West. This Joe Rogan interview now, it's kind of different. So I watch it
No.
and I'm how
Okay.
I'm
Can
looking
I
at it.
pose your position
Yeah,
just
yeah, go
quick?
for it.
It's kind of like the first and the third presidential debate, right? Where we had the first guy who didn't do the best job moderating compared to the third debate, which for the record I haven't seen, but apparently
Mhm.
the woman did a really good job
Yeah, she did a
moderating
sick
it.
job.
In this setting, it's Joe Rogan as a moderator and Nick Cannon as a moderator. And what I'm saying is that Kanye is a specific type of person that in order to have a conversation with him, you have to be of certain stature, which I think Joe Rogan is. Do you get what I mean? And I think that Joe Rogan, he has
Mhm.
so much knowledge and experience that he's
He
not
has a lot
afraid.
of knowledge. He has a lot of knowledge. I'm not taking that with him. Like I'm just saying like it's two different audiences. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
I don't I say that not to say like Nick Cannon could do what Joe Rogan was doing in terms of like how he approached that interview, but like in terms of structure, in terms of like letting just Kanye talk and just go on his like Kanye-ish, you know what I mean? Joe Rogan did a better like in terms of his audience, is his audience, right?
Joe is an excellent translator. That's why his podcast is the biggest in the world. That's why he sold it to Spotify for 100 million. Doesn't matter if he has Einstein astrophysicists or nuclear technicians or Elon Musk. He's able to take these things and then convey them to us, the audience, in a clear and simple way. And he's also able to, on an intellectual level, ask questions that are fruitful to the individual being interviewed. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I feel that.
I also feel like Joe is a good representative of saying, I don't understand what you just said there. Could you explain that? Which Nick Cannon is just like, what he
Yeah,
said
I get
4 words
that.
in
So
the
like
interview.
to
Yeah,
that point is almost like Joe Rogan synthesizes it for the layman. And
yeah,
if you're watching, like, if you're just listening to Nick Cannon and Kanye West talk, it's almost like you're having it's almost like you're just listening to Kanye West and you have to be synthesize it for yourself. Only some people can synthesize it for themselves. If you're able to synthesize what Kanye West is saying by yourself, kudos to you. Otherwise, listen to Joe Rogan.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, and but I would say it's more than just the synthesizing part, John. Like Joe Rogan is, I mean, experience matter. Like have Nick Cannon interviewed Elon Musk or Neil deGrasse Tyson, or do you get like the wide array
No,
of
I get it, but I'm
people?
just saying like it's the audience, right? Like he is catered to a specific audience. So there's a reason Kanye West would go on Nick Cannon's show, and then
Mm.
there's a reason he would follow up and go on Joe
Yeah,
Rogan's
but
show.
Kanye West could go on anyone's show, right?
Kanye West is not going to go on anyone's show.
No, but he
Like
could if he wanted. He could go on
exactly,
anyone's show.
exactly. So that's what he chose. That's what I'm saying. Like in terms of there's a reason he would choose Nick Cannon, and then there's a
Yeah,
reason he would then flip and go to Joe Rogan.
yeah,
Like Joe Rogan has the reach, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But in terms of like niche, it'd probably be Nick Cannon in terms of
yeah,
that specific type of people on specific issues. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
So one of
That's
the
all I'm saying.
things that I found interesting, have you come to the part about the music industry?
Yeah, he spoke about like 20 minutes in, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
How they rape artists.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think he should have worded it how he rapes artists economically.
How who? Kanye West?
Kanye, yeah.
I don't know that, bro. You know
Isn't
this?
that what the whole thing is about?
How Kanye West rapes artists?
No, no. What
Yo,
happened
where's
to
your camera,
my,
bro,
I
bro?
don't know. Is it a glitch or something?
We got some technical difficulties in here, bro.
Yeah. Will be 1 second. I might have to use my, sorry listeners, it's just my camera here. For you guys that are listening to this. Okay, video.
The ones that are watching.
Is it working? No. Did it die maybe? No, it's working. That's weird. Okay, I'm just gonna switch to the webcam, bro. No, now it's coming. Oh, battery exhausted. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. It's because I was charging it just before the thing. No, but so I wait, boom, FaceTime camera. Boom.
Yeah.
Bit of a difference, huh?
Drastic difference. But go. What you were saying?
Yeah. So I completely
Kanye West.
lost, yes, music industry.
Yeah.
Maybe you haven't come to that part, but he talks about getting masters back, etc. And he says like he's like these not labels but the publishers
Mm-hmm.
rape artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one thing that hit me, that he's talking about how the music he makes today makes him
Less
negative
money.
40
Yeah, I
million.
saw that. Yeah.
um and what I mean by that, because he's talking about economic terms, right? he's talking about the economics of being an artist or
Correct.
performer, then I personally think that it's just a small thing, but he could have worded it better rather than saying that they rape artists. I think he should have said that they rape them economically.
Yo, here's the thing. I don't know if you there's a video on YouTube I'll send you. It's
Okay.
basically like this lawyer going through. Remember when Kanye West posted all his
Yeah,
contract?
contracts. Yeah.
Basically, a lawyer going through every single one of those and
Interesting.
explaining like what happened. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So the fact that Kanye West is losing money as he's like, this is music. Kanye West is one of the
Yeah.
biggest rap artists that we know.
Yeah.
Flip side, you also have Drake, and Drake is one of the biggest artists current,
Mm,
also not independent, right?
mm,
There's a reason why Kanye West loses money from music, and there's all over the contracts that he signed that he chose to sign. You know what I
mm,
mean? That he went and like it was a strategic on his part just because like he used some of that money to go and like invest into Easy or
mm.
like his other ventures, right?
Yeah.
So like when he says that, like you always got to take it with like a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Because it's not like every single person that's out here is in a Kanye West situation. He put himself in that situation. You know what I
No,
mean?
but he in the interview he's speaking for all artists how the deals are structured that the company the publishers rape the artists economically.
Yeah, but
He's
Kanye
a
West is also a publisher.
yeah,
He also
yeah,
signs artists. So like he's like if you look at it, it's really yeah, he's correct to a certain extent in terms of like publishing an artist. Artists don't write songs to begin with. A lot of artists don't write
okay,
songs. So like if they go sign a publisher, you're not getting no money if you're not
okay,
writing your song. You know what I mean?
okay,
If you're like Rihanna, if you're like Beyonce, and you have a publishing deal and a record deal, like Beyonce, if Beyonce doesn't write a song, she gets 30% off the top, even if she doesn't write the song. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So it's really down to individual basis. Publishers do rate songwriters a lot. There's this whole movement in terms of like songwriters not getting paid, songwriters go wait till the end compared to like producers and even artists
mm-hmm,
that they get money up front where
mm-hmm,
there's certain parts of the value chain, the people
mm-hmm,
that create the songs, that create the value,
mm-hmm.
they're the ones that like don't get any monetary returns until like
Okay.
a year
So
later. You know what I
John,
mean?
you won a songwriting competition and you
Mm-hmm.
were in talks with Pooh Bear.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yo, so that's under wraps, but I can't really talk about it in terms of what's it gonna happen, but it's
Have you
very
signed
important.
ink on paper?
I haven't signed yet. No, I haven't signed yet.
Okay.
But to that point, it's super important to understand like the different types of publishing deals that there
Okay.
are. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Majority of people coming out, they're probably gonna sign an administrative deal. That means like the publisher gets everything. You know what I mean? The publisher gets 100% of your publishing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't own publishing, you don't have rights. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's co-publishing deal, which you share your publishing with the publisher, and they try to maximize their revenues, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the best deal you can have if you're
Mm-hmm.
smart, because you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to go take an advance, which is what Kanye West would have done. If you're smart, you know, like an advance is like a loan. You know what I mean? You have
Mm-hmm.
to pay back.
Mm-hmm.
So to all the people out there that are into songwriting, into producing, just gotta make sure you understand like the different types of deals that they are. It's not like one deal, sign and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you want to learn more, you can go on shorty.io, you know what I mean? Because like that where all that information at.
To me, watching this conversation from a higher level, I would say that this looks like the venture capital world where you have these VCs come and invest in 50 companies where they need one to work for the investments to pay off.
Correct.
I look at it, that seems to
Correct.
me to be the business model with the publishing song music business, whatever it's called, the entertainment business, where
Yeah, bro.
you
You
sign a bunch
see,
of
like
artists and you want one
to
to
that
work
point,
out
like
and
you
pay
always
for
hear about the
everything
artists
else.
that pop. You always hear about the artists that pop, but like artists get dropped. You know what I mean? Like people get dropped from their contracts. We
Mm,
know a couple people have been dropped from their contracts. You know what I mean? Like it happens all the time.
mm,
Like if you're not producing, you
mm,
gotta go. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's a liability at this point. So
yeah.
yeah, just read paperwork. I mean, sure you get a lawyer, man. Like and make sure you get a lawyer, man. I mean, I got so many things to talk about, but I can't talk about this. I can talk about it
Mm,
like off the air. Like
okay.
I don't know if Kanye West. I mean, we'll talk about it later. I'll
Yeah.
tell you off there.
Back to the conversation. I mean, it's fascinating. I would, yeah, it's just nice to see a conversation in Connie of it, and with Joe. I'm enjoying it. I'm 1 hour and 24 minutes in. Probably gonna take me this week to finish the whole thing, but yeah,
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm
When I get off this call, I'm gonna put it on, do some laundry, just
yeah,
finish it. Yeah,
nice. Amazing,
yeah, man.
bro. I have after this hectic exam week and working like an animal, I decided to keep the flow going. So actually I've gotten a mountain done today, honestly, and I'm
Nice.
just gonna continue doing it. I'm gonna head to my friends now from school, and we're gonna do some IB applications, John. By the way, I've
So be
in investment banking stuff.
okay.
But they don't want me to talk about that because of competition, blah blah blah. They're a little scared. I'm not scared.
Yeah. Fair, bro. Fair. Well, good luck.
Thank
Have
you.
fun, bro. We'll link
I
up.
took your advice though, and I've reached out to people in regards to internships, and I realized that the network that I've already built has been extremely, extremely helpful. And this is
Bro.
yeah, one of the first major times where I feel that using my network for once is really beneficial. So
Bro, that's all you gotta do, man.
yeah,
Like that's the only thing that'll set you apart from your peers. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
just keep building that, you should be fine. That's the
yeah.
truth.
And also, I would like to say too that I have some fun business stuff going on, but I'm not going to talk about it on the podcast. I can
Yeah,
tell
what's
you
your
about it
last, bro?
afterwards in the podcast in the future.
Okay.
But some nice stuff. So that's exciting.
Yo, let's get it, bro. Like we're out here, we're doing putting the hours in.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Shout out to you on that takeover. Don't forget Instagram takeover SSE
Yeah,
next week.
guys, don't forget it. And I just want to say that if you haven't heard Alicia Keys' Spotify sessions, Ocean Eyes, you should go and listen to it. My
Was it
lord,
good?
John, have you heard it?
I haven't.
Okay, Puffy, take it away.
Hey yo, what's going on? This is DJ Puffy, Red Bull 3-star world champion, and this is the Breeze pick of the week. Check it out, yo.
You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. I've been
Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
guys, that
Alicia Keys
was
showing Billie Eilish how it's done, bro.
yeah, I oh, so if we just quick take, bro. So then obviously I type in Billie Eilish on Spotify, bro. She has like 2 or 3 songs with like a billion plays or more.
Bro, she won so many Grammys this year.
It's
You know,
insane.
if you go in Logic, this Logic you have right now,
Yeah,
you can go to like demo sessions and they have Ocean Eyes, Billie Eilish, like the entire production, like her vocals, like all the instruments and stuff
that's
that you
cool.
can pull it up. It's pretty cool. But shout out to
No,
Billie Eilish, man.
yeah, shout out to Billie Eilish. More so, shout out to Alicia, mixing some Swedish in there. My beloved girlfriend, she actually said that she thinks that Billie's version is better. I personally think that Alicia's version is
I mean, I
better.
heard that 2 seconds and I'm like, yo, the Billie Eilish version is good for radio. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
in terms of like listening,
yeah,
that Alicia Keys always kills it, bro. And she's playing the piano, so like
yeah.
you
Oof.
can't lose,
I
man. Come
know,
on,
bro.
bro.
You can't. And that's the thing, John. Like, I don't know. It's something with Alicia and her freaking goddess hands, just freaking sliding over the piano and her voice as well. Like, it's so good, bro.
Bro, she's fire from birth.
Yeah, yeah, mad respect to her.
From birth, bro.
Okay, so
For sure.
guys, with that, thanks for listening to this week's episode.
Yo, we appreciate you guys. So we'll hear y'all next week. Of course, same time. You know where to find us. We out.
Peace.